A new report is shining a light on the way fatherhood is changing in Australia. The overwhelming majority of new dads are more involved in daily care than their fathers were. But they're also struggling to find support when going through difficult times.
Fatherhood has changed a lot since the days of Al Bundy.
Got the whole house to myself.
A new report from men's health charity Movember has found 72% of men are more involved in daily care than their own fathers, and
3/4 of fathers say fatherhood matters more than their career.
But many are falling through the cracks and struggle to find appropriate support.
3 in 5 of them, when they're having a newborn, are not asked how they're coping, what their mental health is like.
Dr. Zach Seidler has first-hand experience welcoming son Artie just 5 months ago.
The system really didn't check in on me.
Movember is calling for routine mental health screening for new fathers, greater investment in training health professionals, and the expansion of grassroots programs.
We need to support men to be the best versions of themselves.
Something that has a bit of star power behind it.
You're not alone.
The report's been tabled to Parliament today, and it's hoped these conversations will help foster healthier relationships between fathers and young boys in particular, in the face of a growing movement of misogynistic and unhealthy male influences.
The greatest influence over them and their future and the men that they are going to grow up to be are their parents and their dad.
Healthy fathers equal healthy families.
Hansel Dew, 10 News.
Groundbreaking news. So Prince Harry basically does something very simple. He talks like a real dad. No filters, no stiff royal script, just straight up honesty about fatherhood, pressure, and trying to keep your head above water when life is moving fast and nobody's handing you a manual. And somehow that ends up in Parliament House in Australia. Not because it's celebrity noise, because it hits a nerve. Movember takes the message, bundles it up with real research on new fathers, and walks it straight into lawmakers like, yeah, you need to see this. And honestly, good. Because let's be real for a second, a lot of men are out here struggling in silence. They'll joke about it, they'll shrug it off, I'm fine, while internally everything is on fire and the fridge is empty and sleep is a memory. That's the reality. So when someone like Harry, who's constantly under a microscope, just says it plain, fatherhood is heavy sometimes. It messes with your head. It's not always picture perfect. That lands differently. Not in a celebrity way, in a human way. That's what people are reacting to, because most public conversations about dads are either jokes or silence, no middle ground, either the fun dad meme or nothing at all. But real life, it's not that neat. It's messy, it's tired mornings, it's stress you don't always have words for. It's trying to show up even when your battery is on 2%. And that's why this whole thing in Parliament matters. Not because of status, not because of titles, but because it drags a conversation that usually gets ignored right into the room where decisions actually get made. And you can feel the shift when that happens, when a personal story stops being just a story and turns into policy talk, research, and people actually paying attention. That's rare. And credit where it's due, Harry using his platform like that isn't just noise, it's useful noise, the kind that makes other dads go, wait, I'm not the only one feeling like this. That's the quiet win here, because once people stop hiding it, they start dealing with it. And once they start dealing with it, things can actually change. No drama needed, no big performance, just honesty doing what it does best, cutting through the silence. Let's be real about something people don't say out loud enough. New dads are not okay half the time, and they're expected to just carry it, smile through it, provide, show up, fix things, stay calm, don't complain, don't fold. Meanwhile, inside, it's chaos. No sleep, money stress, new responsibilities hitting like a truck, and you're just trying to figure out how to keep a tiny human alive, while also pretending you're still fully functional. That's the part people miss, and experts have been shouting about it for years. Maternal health gets attention, and rightly so, but fathers are often left in the shadows like you'll be fine, just deal with it. But a lot of them aren't fine, they're just quiet. So when this conversation lands in a serious space like Parliament in Australia, it actually means something. Not because it's fancy, not because it's political theatre, but because it drags something private into public view. Now, enter Prince Harry, and whatever people want to say about him, this is where he's been consistent. Mental health, pressure, emotional honesty. He keeps pushing that door open, but this time it hits different, because he's not speaking like some distant public figure giving advice from a pedestal. He's speaking like a dad in the thick of it. No PR polish, no robotic speech, just real talk about what fatherhood actually feels like when the cameras are off. And that's why people are reacting, because a lot of dads hear that and go, oh, so I'm not broken, I'm just human. That's powerful in a quiet way, because most guys don't talk about this stuff. They'll joke about it, they'll bury it in work, they'll act like it's fine while running on fumes. But parenting is heavy, even when it's beautiful. Both things can be true at the same time. That's the part that finally needs to be said out loud more often. And what makes this campaign land is that it doesn't stay in theory, it doesn't stay in hashtags, it gets carried into a real political space where decision makers actually have to look at it. That's not small. And Harry using his platform for that kind of conversation, that's not noise, that's useful pressure. Because if one person speaking honestly makes another dad feel less alone, then suddenly you've got something spreading quietly in the background. Not panic, not hype, just awareness. And sometimes that's how change actually starts. Not with big speeches, with someone finally saying, yeah, this is hard. So this thing didn't just stay online. It walked straight into Parliament House in Australia, like, yeah, we need to talk. Movember didn't come empty-handed either. They brought the receipts, the research, and the real-life stories from fathers who are clearly not okay, but have been acting like they are for years. And suddenly, the people making decisions actually had to sit there and listen, properly. Not skim it, not scroll past it, listen. That alone is kind of wild when you think about it, because most dads aren't sitting in big rooms having deep conversations about mental health. They're usually just pushing through it, head down, keep going, no complaints. But this time, the conversation got dragged into the place where rules actually get made. And that matters more than people think. Because once you hear enough real stories, sleepless nights, money stress, pressure from every direction, that feeling of I'm supposed to hold everything together but I'm running on fumes, you can't really ignore it the same way anymore. You start to see it's not just personal struggle stuff, it's everywhere. And the logic is simple. If dads are struggling, families feel it, kids feel it, relationships feel it, the whole house feels it. Nobody wins when people are silently drowning. That's why this isn't just talk for talk's sake, it's pointing at systems that need to actually catch up with real life. Support, access, early help instead of late panic, that kind of thing. Nothing fancy, just practical help before things spiral. And credit where it's due, Harry has kept this conversation alive in a way that forces people to pay attention. Not loud speeches for headlines, more like consistently dragging real issues into view and refusing them to disappear again. Now, with Parliament in the mix and lawmakers actually engaging with it, you can feel the conversation shifting from, yeah, that's important, to, okay, what are we actually going to do about it? That's the key moment, because awareness is nice, action is the real test. And if this momentum sticks, a lot of dads who've been struggling in silence might finally get something they've been missing for a long time, backup. Thank you all for watching. I am your host, Miles. Catch you in the next one.